What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns flying above Mount Soapbox for the 100th Rant. That's right, we have done it. 100 episodes of the Rant series. And we wouldn't be where we are right now if it wasn't for all of my awesome subscribers, viewers, and fans of the Rant series. Now, I make no claim of originality when it comes to rants. There are plenty of other YouTubers that make rant videos. It's not trademarked, it's not copyright, but nonetheless, for whatever rhyme or reason, you've enjoyed my rant series so far. Now, what's interesting about the rant series is it was never meant to be a series. It's just that occasionally I would want to rant about something. So I'd rant about this or rant about that. Eventually, it took a life of its own. And before I knew it, I started doing rant videos on almost every Sunday. But I don't think that that's originally how it was. But it's amazing to see how far that this series has come since the beginning. And what we're going to do is I've compiled most of the thumbs from previous rant videos. Some of them I can't find. I looked through all my files and I either accidentally deleted them or I kind of like cannibalized them for another thumb. They've been lost through time and space for 10,000 years. But the thumbs I did find, which are 90-something thumbs, which isn't bad. It's like an A grade, isn't it? 90-something out of 100, yeah. So we're going to go over each thumb, and real quickly, hopefully real quickly, you know I'm going to, I don't know, come up with a thought or an opinion or a view regarding each of the rants that we pop up on the screen. It's going to be an interesting game, and I thought it'd be something fun to do for the Rant series 100th episode. So bear with me. By the way, let me know below in the comment section of all the rants I've done. Which one was your fave? Which one might have brought you to the channel? Let me know below in the comment section. And who knows? It might be one of the ones we go over right now. We're going to go alphabetically, okay? So we're not going chronologically. We're going alphabetically. That's just the way we're going to roll. First off, it is the adversary rant. And I believe I was either ranting about adversary modes in general, the fact that Rockstar has, you know, just gone over the top with making countless adversary modes instead of doing like contact missions or new LTSs, death matches, etc., races. They just threw it all into adversary modes since the heist update with the first ones, including Hasta La Vista. Now, some of the adversary modes have been awesome. Others, not so much. Next is the Batman Arkham Knight rant. Now, I didn't always rant about Grand Theft Auto Online, but obviously the majority of the rants are revolved around Grand Theft Auto Online. But I have tried to expand a little bit in the rant series. Now, Batman Arkham Knight. I thoroughly enjoyed playing this game. However, it did have some flaws. Spoilers, in case you haven't played Batman Arkham Knight. For one thing, the overuse of the Batmobile. I mean, we wanted the Batmobile since Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, and we finally got it from Rocksteady. But it was overused, and most of the time, we used it in boss battles when it would have been a lot more fun if it would have been like Batman versus Arkham Knight or Batman versus, you know, other characters that you fight in the game instead of over-reliance on the Batmobile. And once again, they needlessly brought Joker back into the game. And I thought it was good the way they did it, but at the same time, I sometimes get tired of Joker always finding his way into a new Batman game or a new Batman movie or a new Batman TV series. Kind of like with Batman the Telltale game that I Let's Played. It was awesome. I loved it, but did we really need Joker in that series? I think not. Anyways, moving on to the next rant. The Beach Bum rant. Now, Beach Bum was the very first DLC that came to Grand Theft Auto Online, November 2013, if I believe correctly. And so many people love to hate on the Beach Bum update. And in this rant video, I talked about the good things that came courtesy of Beach Bum, like the speeder boat, and of course the Bifta, and some of the clothes that a lot of people use and run around with their characters that they take for granted. So I was actually one of the few defending Beach Bum in the Beach Bum rant. So I'm not always bashing something whenever it's a rant video. Sometimes it's going after those that bash something like Beach Bum. I always felt like people were too harsh on this update. I mean, yeah, it was a small update. It had, what, a van, another vehicle, along with the speedboat and the Bifta. But, you know, it was the first one, the first of many that came to Grand Theft Auto Online. And I just personally thought that Beach Bum deserved a little love, too. Next, of course, is... this was one of the biker rants I did. Now, obviously, this started because of the fact that a huge portion of the biker community wanted a biker update in Grand Theft Auto Online. And they started a petition back in February, and there was a lot of rumors and leaks coming out about, oh, we're going to get a biker update. We're going to get it. And there was nothing confirmed, and I think basically this rant was just going after the water cooler talk, the rumors, the leaks, claiming that the biker update was going to come out at a certain time when it didn't come out at that certain time. But eventually the biker update did come out to, you know, the praise and joy of the biker community. Next is another biker one. Now, this may have been the first biker rant video I did. And this one was basically going along with all the biker fans out there, calling upon Rockstar and petitioning Rockstar to make a biker update. So I joined in the chorus of the MC crowds in order to hopefully have Rockstar listen to the Grand Theft Auto community in order to create a biker update. And they listened, or else it was part of the plan all along. I mean, they did do the Lost and the Damned update back in, Grand Theft Auto 4. It was one of the DLCs. So it's quite possible that Rockstar was always planning a biker update, and the fact that, you know, a lot of the community was wanting it a year ago. They were making videos, petitioning Rockstar, and making videos including this one in particular. You know, that might have just been, you know, more proof in the pudding that, you know, a biker update would have been a good idea. And I think it was for the most part. Next, of course, is the Blacklist rant. Now, this is about items and content, including, obviously, the Duke of Death that's available to use in Grand Theft Auto 5 Story, but for whatever rhyme or reason, not available in Grand Theft Auto Online. And that's basically what the rant was about. You know, all this awesome content in Grand Theft Auto 5 Story, which could be even more fun over in Grand Theft Auto Online, that Rockstar has yet to this day add to the game. So maybe eventually Rockstar will take some of those blacklist items that I mentioned in this rant video, like the Duke of Death and some other stuff as well, and eventually give the community some more sweet content from Grand Theft Auto 5 Story. Because right now it's just sitting over there, getting dusty and rusty, and that's not good for anybody. Next, of course, is the Bahama Mamas rant. Now, I think this was ranting about more leaks and rumors, because there was a big leak running around about, you know, how there was going to be a Bahama Mamas update or nightclub update, I think, if I remember correctly. And it was part that, and it was also part me agreeing with the idea and the premise of a nightclub update, because we have interiors for various locations like Bahama Mamas West, as well as Tequila La, the Comedy Club, I think one or two others. And it would just be really cool if we had more interiors in Grand Theft Auto Online, and hopefully eventually we'll see that come to the game somewhere down the road in a future update. I mean, Rockstar went through the trouble to make these interiors, they might as well use them. Next is the Bully rant, and basically this rant was about us ranting about the fact that there's been only one Bully game, and how a lot of us would really like to see a sequel or a prequel to Bully, myself included, because I absolutely loved Bully when it came out, and I still love playing it because now it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One. Next, we have the character rant, and I think this was about the fact that at one time, until recently, we did not have the ability to change our character's appearance in Grand Theft Auto Online. You could do it at the very beginning of the current gen versions of Grand Theft Auto Online, in PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. But once you did it once, you cannot go back and get more plastic surgery. And I always thought it was a really good idea to have more plastic surgery options for Grand Theft Auto Online. And eventually they relented. I think it was an import-export a couple months ago, and they actually gave us the ability to go and, for I think $100,000, recustomize our characters. But the one thing I don't like is the fact that we can't change the sex of our characters. And that could have to do with the clothing, the fact that there's specifically male and female clothing items. But I think even if there was a risk of losing those clothing items, I still think a lot of the community might be willing to do that in order to, have their character's sex changed. Then again, Rockstar also added the ability for new characters to have the same rank as an original character. So if you wanted like a female version of a character or a male version of a character, all you'd have to do is start a new character, your secondary character, and then give them the same rank and then just make them a female version. They do share the same bank account, by the way. So I don't know. I mean, I am glad to see that Rockstar did listen to the community and did give us the ability to change the character's look whenever we want for $100,000 of pop. So thanks, Rockstar, for once again listening to us. Next is a cheater rant. Obviously, I was ranting about cheaters. And some of the thumbs you may wonder, little GeauxBurns, why are you using Michael's wife as the thumb? Well, I mean, there's obvious evidence in Grand Theft Auto 5 story that his wife was kind of sort of cheating on him. So I thought it was fitting. Even though he gets ridiculed for cheating by his kids, she was also cheating, unlike the tennis coach, the pool guy, at least the yoga instructor as well. So yeah, Amanda, that's why she was blessed with the thumb for the cheater rant. Next, of course, is my community rant. And what this was about was some comments were being left on my videos. And this happens when you get bigger, and it's just something you have to deal with. That there were some spam comments that were being posted, some sub-to-sub comments, and a lot of that gets spammed now, but it was annoying, and most of the time I would delete those comments. And I was just explaining about comments that really annoyed me personally, that I did not like. And I kind of made like a fictional YouTube accounts in order to kind of explain what I meant by this and what I meant by that. And then, of course, there were some YouTuber comments that also would not leave things in one comment. They would just make 2 or 3 or 10 comments in the same video. And that's basically what this this rant was about. Me ranting about various comments that I don't like, including hate comments. I definitely delete that shit too. Next, of course, is the Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 4 Contender rant. Now, there's 2 versions of the Contender. And if you've been following my Grand Theft Auto 4 Xbox One Let's Play, in a couple of the videos, I think you've seen the Contender, the OG Contender as I call it. And I've even driven around with Nico. And a few months ago, Rockstar came up with a new version of the Contender in Grand Theft Auto Online. And simply put, this is about me wanting the Grand Theft Auto 4 Contender in Grand Theft Auto Online as well. Even if they'd have to rename it to the Contender Sport or something else entirely, I just really like that SUT, and I really wish that truck was also in Grand Theft Auto Online, along with the regular Contender that they added with Grand Theft Auto Online as well. Next, of course, is the content rant. Now, obviously, I guess I was ranting about content. It looks like it may have something to do with Ill-Gotten Gains 1 because you see the Osiris in the background, Janine, my Xbox One character. I think she's wearing one of those jackets that came with Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1. And I think I may have been ranting about the prices starting to go up regarding content in Grand Theft Auto Online because the Osiris was, what, $2 million just about. And that was kind of like a first for supercars. And, of course, you also had the Deluxe Luxor, the Deluxe Swift that came with the Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1. So that might have been what this rant was about. Now, bear in mind, I could be completely wrong about these rants. I'm just going off the top of my head from memories. And that's part of the fun here, to see exactly what comes off the top of my head, whether I'm right or wrong about my own rants, and what else may pop in my head whenever I see these various thumbs. And you may see an evolution of the thumbs as we continue from bad to not as bad. Then, of course, this was the copyright rant. And I guess one of my videos got, back in June 2016, got a copyright claim. I don't know if it was over music or something. And I always try really hard to prevent my videos from ever getting copyright striked or claimed. I go the extra mile to make sure there's no copyright music in the videos. At least I try. And other things as well. Like, for example, when it comes to trailer breakdowns, I don't, play the video in the background because sometimes the video is, in fact, what's going to be copyright claimed. And this might have been the case. I may have used video for one of my trailer breakdowns for like a Grand Theft Auto update, and it could be because it says Take-Two Interactive, and I got Scrooge McDuck up there with his millions in gold. So, and of course I have the Grand Theft Auto 5 logo, so it probably had something to do with a Grand Theft Auto update trailer, and I got salty about it because, honestly, by doing the trailer breakdown and using their video, I'm promoting their content, and I may have made a few dollars off that video, but it was nowhere near as much as Rockstar made off the shark cards for whichever update this happened to be. But that's one of the reasons why for like trailer breakdowns now, I just use screenshots instead of videos, just to keep it safe and avoid as many copyrights as possible. Because you get like 3 copyright strikes, they take your channel away, and I really don't like that idea at all. I put a lot of work into this channel over the past nearly 3 years, and I'm going to try and keep it as clean as possible when it comes to copyright issues. Next, of course, is, I think this was, what was it? I don't know if it was a Benny's rant, or was it a custom car rant? I think it was a custom car rant. Once again, it's one of those, is GeauxBurns right? Is his memory failing him? Well, you can go watch the playlist and find out for yourself. So I think I was ranting about the fact that some of the vehicles that came recently with the import-export, that the custom versions were not as good as the regular versions. And that's because of Downforce, Bruffy, another YouTuber who does really good videos on like the speeds of vehicles around tracks and straight shots. He's one of the best out there when it comes to those kind of videos. I think he was talking a lot about Downforce in a lot of his recent vids. And a couple of the vehicles in the game, like the regular version, seems to be a little bit better performance-wise than the custom version, which costs more money to get, which does not make sense. So I think that's what I was bitching about in this video. And I may have also been ranting about, the desire to have more custom rides like what we currently have. More supercar customs, more muscle car customs, maybe even more sports car customs. I don't exactly remember where I was going here. I've done like 90 of these videos. Next, of course, is I don't even remember what this was, to be honest. So usually whenever I use the troll face, it involves some sort of scam. So I'm guessing I was ranting about something that Rockstar was trying to pull over the community. Maybe with like something about this weekend, double money weekends. I don't remember exactly. It could have been something that, involved a way to supposedly make double money, but you really weren't making that much money. Or the reasoning behind it could have been because I believe that some things in the game right now, missions, heists, etc., maybe the money should be raised up a little bit financially, the payouts, because of the fact that content has become more expensive in the game. But anyways, I don't remember exactly what this one was about. But it was funny, though, and it shows you that sometimes I like to get a little too creative with my thumbs. I like to throw a troll face up there sometimes. It happens. Next, of course, is I think the director mode rant, and I was just basically talking about the things I liked about director mode and the things I didn't like about director mode, and I guess ideas that would make director mode better than it currently is. Next is DLC 2016 rant, and I think this was shortly after Lowriders Custom Classics came out last year. And, most people were not really impressed with Lowriders because it felt like more of the same. And a lot of the vehicles, with a couple exceptions, like the Tornado Custom, the Sabre Custom, maybe one or two more, like, what was it, the Slam Van Custom. Most of the vehicles kind of sucked. Like the Minivan Custom. What was Rockstar thinking? But I think at the time, it just really didn't feel like we weren't going to be getting any good DLCs in 2016. And I think that's what I was ranting about here. And, of course, I was wrong. Because we did get some good DLCs. We got Finance and Felony. We got, let's see, we got the Biker Update. We got Cutting Stunts. We got Import-Export. Maybe one or two more. But all really awesome updates. So at this point, it was kind of like a doldrum in Grand Theft Auto Online. Similar to how it is right now in 2017. So hopefully we'll get some cool updates coming up this year as well, much like we did last year. Next, it's the DLC Rides rant. And I think we were ranting about, what were we ranting about exactly with this video? Obviously, it has something to do with the DLC Rides. which includes the Ballista Compact, and that was one of the vehicles along with the Dukes and the Stallion and the Dodo Seaplane, I think the Kraken Sub, which were all available to returning players from like last gen to current gen. And I don't exactly remember what this one was about, so we're going to move on. Next is the Entourage rant. I was obviously ranting about Entourage. And sometimes I don't get as creative with my thumbs. Sometimes I just take something that Rockstar already made and I resize it and I put it in there as the thumb. It happens. You know, it depends on, the week, or if I can't come up with anything better, I'm like, you know what? Rockstar came up with something. I'll just use that. Okay, there. Next, of course, was the event week rant. Now, what's fascinating about this is it's kind of a sequel to another rant we're going to talk about in a minute from now, well, or 2 to 3 minutes from now, depending on how long I take here. I think I was ranting about event weeks, obviously. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so the event weekend rant was a little different because it was the first of these two. So that came later on. But this one was, my idea was, why doesn't Rockstar do an event weekend at least once a month or twice a month? You know, because at the time, we weren't getting as many event weekends where you had the opportunity to earn double money, double RP, etc., etc. And I guess Rockstar listened to the community because eventually we started getting event weeks every week. And maybe I was complaining about, some of the event weeks feeling a little crappy, or I don't know what I was ranting about in this video. Or maybe I was praising event weeks. Sometimes I go one way or the other. I don't know. Anyways, let's go next to one of the more controversial rant videos was the flag rant. Now, obviously, you see the Confederate flag over on that trailer, right in between flag and rant. Now, there was a time in Stab City, this is where this image is, over where the Lost and Damned are, and the Confederate flag used to be on the trailer, but they replaced the Confederate flag with an American flag. So that caused a little bit of issue within the community, and the reason I was ranting was because of the fact that the game is Grand Theft Auto Online. It's a very anti-PC game, and despite the fact I consider the Confederate flag to be a racist flag now, I have to look at the fact that this is a biker community here. These guys don't give a shit. They're meth heads. They're criminals. Why would they give the fuck about, the Confederate flag? You think they would just leave it up there and not replace it? But then again, maybe not. I mean, it is one of those biker clubs that isn't, whites only. They have blacks, Hispanics in their biker clubs. So I guess it would make sense for the Lost to have taken down the Confederate flag. It just seemed kind of silly of Rockstar to do. A small PC move on their behalf in a game that glorifies, destruction, death, crime, and violence. Next, we have the free mode events update rant. So I was ranting about the free mode updates as well, and this was a really, really shitty thumb. I think it was before I started getting the idea of stretching screenshots, because now you'll notice in my screenshots that, I try to get rid of all the crap with the the time, the go to destination, all that crap. I try to crop that out of the thumbs, and it was kind of a cheesy one because I photoshopped the free mode events update logo. So yeah, it's not exactly one of my prouder thumbs here, and it has my old GB ball logo up there in the top right hand corner. And this may have been one of the first videos where I started putting the GB logo up at the top right hand corner instead of GeauxBurns down at the bottom right-hand corner. And it makes more sense to do it that way. For one thing, it's smaller, easier to identify. Two, the video time is always in the bottom right-hand corner, and it always covers up whatever happens to be down there in the bottom right-hand corner. And that's a big reason why you don't see anything down there anymore, because I decided to keep shit away from over there and just let the timer be over there by its lonesome, not covering any of my words and whatnot. So yeah, this was about the free mode events update, which wasn't a very good update, to be honest. Next is the Fallout rant. I think this was about it being free briefly, or some sort of rumor. It had something to do with that on the Xbox One, obviously. And to be honest, I don't remember the specifics of this rant, and this was obviously one of my thumbs where I had first started using a border, because a lot of other YouTubers use the border. I gave in to peer pressure, and I like borders, to be honest. I've grown to really like them. They really make the my GB logos look better, even though this is the newest logo, the newest version I've had for nearly a year now. I just like using borders on thumbs, as you may or may not have noticed. And I think this was my version 1, my blue one. I've had 2 or 3 borders since this one. Next is my gamer rant, one of the older thumbs. And I think we were ranting about gamers in Grand Theft Auto Online. Some of the typical stuff that gamers do or don't do. And there's some positive stuff in this video. There's some negative stuff as well. And once again, the GB logo in the top right-hand corner, as opposed to GeauxBurns being down in the bottom right-hand. The ones that say GeauxBurns in the bottom right-hand corner are definitely older thumbs, obviously, in my rant vids. Next, see, this is one of the older ones because GeauxBurns is down in the bottom right-hand corner instead of the GB ball in the top right-hand corner. And I think I was ranting about, at the time, I don't think we had that many garage spaces, maybe 2 or 3 garages during this one. This was obviously on current gen, but and sometime after Ill-Gotten Gains 1 and 2, because obviously you have the Osiris and then you have the T20 over there, Janine's cars. She doesn't have the Osiris anymore, or the Insurgent, or some of the other vehicles in the background. And I used to love putting Left Shark in my videos for some reason. I always found Left Shark to be funny. So that's why in some of these thumbs you may see Left Shark and some other things like the Death Star or TIE Fighter. I don't know. I like throwing Easter eggs in some of my thumbs. I don't do it as much as I used to, but I used to go crazy with the damn Easter eggs for whatever rhyme or reason. But that's pretty much what this video was about, me ranting about the lack of more garage space. Because I think at the time, we either only had 2 garage spaces or 3. I can't remember exactly which is which. Next! One of my more recent rant videos, and a pretty popular one, the gaming community rant, which is a little bit different than the gamer rant, and newer, obviously, because it has my newer logo. And this one is one of those examples of me going crazy with the Easter eggs. I put a ton of Easter eggs in this video. I put Janine hiding behind a window, my PS4 Grand Theft Auto Online Wolf character over there in another window, a Hydra flying in the background. This was obviously from a scene in South Park. I think it was their World of Warcraft episode where they were fighting that troll. And so I just imposed my mug on top of the troll's face. And I used one of my older GeauxBurns logos on the t-shirt and another GB logo on this monitor with the Game Boy and Intellivision, Xbox One, Xbox 360, an NES, PlayStation 4, some of the maps on my wall in my office. And of course, if you look on the TV to the right, I took a screenshot from one of the international podcasts with Carrick at ACG that I'm one of the regular members of, and I put it over there on the TV. So I just went crazy with this thumb, and I was ranting about how people perceive gamers and some of the positives of the gaming community, some of the negatives, kind of a sequel to my gamer rant, but it was very well received by a lot of people, so I hope you enjoyed that thumb as well, and the video that the thumb was based on that I did a couple months back. Next is the Halloween 2017 rant, I think. And I was ranting about the fact that we really didn't get a Halloween 2016 surprise update. We got this bike, the Sanctus, but that was pretty much it. Last year we got a lot more Halloween content. We got the masks, we got 2 cars, and I think we got the flashlight. So this time around in 2016, Halloween, a few months ago in October, a lot of us Halloween fans were kind of expecting some more Halloween content, but we really didn't get as much as we did back in 2015. So that's pretty much what I was ranting about in this video. Next is the holiday DLC rant, another one of my older videos. Obviously, you have Left Shark in the background lurking. And this was about, I think, the desire to have more holiday-themed DLCs in Grand Theft Auto Online. Obviously, Janine is wearing some of the Independence Day clothing. You have the Roosevelt from the Valentine's Massacre. And I thought it'd be really cool if we had more holiday-themed content in the game, like St. Patrick's Day, Halloween. I probably mentioned Halloween because obviously, it's Halloween. Who doesn't like Halloween? So that's what this older rant was about. Next is the host rant, and this is pretty much me complaining about some of the hosts in Grand Theft Auto Online when you're trying to do a job, a mission, a heist, etc., and how they like to take their sweet time. They're not paying attention. And specifically, my bitching was during my Racing Badly series when I would sit for like 10, 15 minutes waiting on a race to start, and the host would be, I guess he's AFK, or he's waiting for a certain number of people to join the race, because in current gen, we can have up to, 30 vehicles in a race. And at the time, we had, maybe 10-plus cars, and I'm sitting there, and he's just not starting the race, and that's a big reason why I was bitching about hosts in this rant video. And I realize this video has gone on a very long time, but we're not done yet. Now, this is one of my more newer rants. We were talking about inflation in Grand Theft Auto Online. The fact that, things are a lot more expensive than they used to. So I'm going to try and go lightning speed now because I think we're approaching 30 minutes. All right, I don't want to be here all day with this rant video. And by the way, for all of you still watching, I appreciate it. And I hope you're, still entertained. Next, Liberty City rant. And I was ranting about Rockstar hopefully eventually adding Liberty City as a place we can go to in Grand Theft Auto Online. I think it would be cool to have a new location besides Southern San Andreas. Leaker rants. Obviously, me having a problem with leakers as usual because I've been burned once or twice by leakers. Limited edition rant. I was ranting about, I think, time-limited vehicles in this rant. The fact that it kind of sucks that, some of the items are only available for a certain amount of time. Next is the Lindsay Lohan rant. You suck, Lindsay Lohan, and you're a attention whore, and your 15 seconds are up, and Rockstar hopefully will never give you a dime. Next is the lack of live stream rant. Now, once upon a time, I was trying to get into live streaming. Maybe one day I will again, but I was having some issues with Twitch a few years ago, and I think this is the video that kind of spawned the rant series from becoming an every now and then thing that I would do occasionally to a regular weekly series. So I think this is what really set me off on making the rant series an actual series. So some good came of it. And eventually I do plan on going back to doing live streams because I kind of enjoyed them. Next is the Las Venturas rant. Very similar to the Liberty City rant. I would like another location for us to go to besides Southern San Andreas. And why not Las Venturas? What happens in Las Venturas stays in Las Venturas, baby. Next, of course, is one of my larger videos, one of my more popular or least popular rants. I mean, this one's gotten a lot of views. My Mafia 3 customization rant. And at the time, we didn't really have much customization for Lincoln Clay. And I was ranting about it, the fact that we didn't have the ability to change our outfits, etc., etc. Hangar 13 listened to the Mafia 3 community, and now we have, some outfits that we can pick and choose from for Lincoln Clay. So, props to Hangar 13 for listening to us. Next, we have the Mafia 3 kickback rant, and I was ranting about the fact that I think there were several Mafia 3 kickback rants. I think. I could be wrong about that. And obviously, I've gone on for a long time now, and I'm stuttering out of control. But I think this had something to do with the fact that kickback became a pre-order. Well, it was originally a pre-order, but then it became a DLC that you could purchase for $5. And the fact that Hangar 13 never told us about that, and they just eventually said, hey, if you didn't pre-order Mafia 3 and you want the 3 cars and the 3 weapons, you can purchase them for $5 US. In the end, it's not really a big deal, but at the time, I was kind of salty about it. Next is the Mafia 3 Racing rant, and I just wrapped up Mafia 3 Racing Badly yesterday, and I really enjoyed doing Racing Badly and Mafia 3 all 12 races, but it did have some issues, some flaws to it that I obviously ranted about. Next, Mafia 3 rant. Now, this is obviously older. I'm saying that word a lot, obviously. Obviously. Now, this is a newer rant. This is a much older rant because, the logo, the GB logo is my older logo. Doesn't even have the black ball behind it. And this rant I made, I think, shortly after the reveal trailer in August 2015, or at least a month or two later. And a lot of people were coming out bashing Mafia 3, specifically Lincoln Clay, the protagonist who happens to be half black, half white. And that was something that I was ranting about, the fact that people were not going to buy the game or play the game because Lincoln Clay was the protagonist who happened to not be Italian. He was half black, half white. And my issue was, hey, give the game a chance, for better or worse. Don't just, don't be like that. There's no grounds for it. I thought personally that Mafia 3 was a really good game. And it has flaws, it has issues, but I think it keeps up with the Mafia theme. It just takes it from it goes at it from a different angle. Next is the mansion rant. Why don't we have mansions in Grand Theft Auto Online? Obviously, I used a few a few Easter eggs. And the reason why you see a turtle in some of the thumbs is because we used to have one of our fans, subscribers. The turtle was kind of his name. I forgot exactly what his name was, so I always like to put a little turtle in there just for fun. Plus, I like turtles, especially the Ninja Turtles. And to this day, we still don't have mansions. Next, the Maze Bank rant. I was ranting about Maze Bank, obviously. I forgot why. Next, one of my older rant videos, and you can tell because of the thumb, mental state rant. And I was obviously ranting about the mental state and the fact that I originally liked the idea of the mental state, but unfortunately, the mental state doesn't just go by the number of players you kill. It also goes by the number of NPCs you kill. And I just believe that they should nix the whole NPC killing thing, because who cares about killing NPCs in Grand Theft Auto Online? What I want to care about is like how many players somebody's killing and whether or not they're a psycho, and I should stay away from them if I see a red dot on the map. Next, I think it was the minivan rant. Yeah, I think this was the minivan custom rant. Obviously, you could tell how much I love that lowrider because I blew it up in the thumb. It was a really dumb idea for Rockstar to make that a lowrider. I don't know what they were thinking at the time. Next is the mission rant. I was ranting about some of the things I don't like about missions. I mean, I love missions, but at the same time, I think that the missions could be better. I think that, you know, they could reintroduce the replay factor so we could replay the missions over and over again. And the fact that you get paid more by taking longer to finish a mission when that doesn't really make sense. You think that, you know, Martin or Lester would pay you more by, you know, knocking the mission out quicker instead of taking your sweet ass time. You know, there was just a few issues I have with the way Rockstar has done missions, and I think that's what this rant video was about. Next is one of my oldest rants. Not the oldest, but one of the oldest rants, and you can also tell by the thumb. Modder rant. Obviously, I was ranting about modders back on last gen Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Now, obviously, there's two types of modders. White hat modders that do really cool stuff, and the black hat modders, which, you know, fuck a lot of shit up for, I don't know, whatever rhyme or reason, just to watch the world burn, I suppose. And that's specifically what I was ranting about in this video. Next is the money rant. I was ranting about money in Grand Theft Auto Online. Why? Why not? Next is, I think this is the muscle car rant, and I was ranting about the desire to have, I guess, more muscle cars in the game, or the ability to upgrade muscle cars to like souped up muscle cars, like a souped up version of the Dominator or the Gauntlet, etc. Maybe eventually Rockstar will do that, and we can take the Dominator or the Gauntlet or some of the others into Benny's, like the Saber GT, and like give them a nice, you know, upgrade. That'd be awesome. I think that's what this was about. I could be completely wrong. Next is my Nintendo Classic mini rants. I was ranting about it. I think it had something to do with the fact that there was only 30 games, and the cords were short as hell. They should have been a lot longer, or wireless, or something else entirely. Next, of course, was the obviously a continuation of the Nintendo NES Classic rant, is about them being sold out because Nintendo, in their wisdom, did not have enough Nintendo NES Classics produced whenever they were put on the shelves, and you know that was on Nintendo. Next, No Man's Sky rant. Obviously, what's not to rant about when it comes to No Man's Sky, right? Next is North Yankton rant, just like with the Las Venturas and the Liberty City rants. Yes, I would very much like to have another location to go to in Grand Theft Auto Online. And the one that makes the most sense would be North Yankton, because they kind of sort of built it already for Grand Theft Auto 5 story. And of course, Paleto Bay rant. I love Paleto Bay. I just wish there was more up there in Paleto Bay. And that's what this rant was about. You know, the desire to have maybe a couple like 10-car garages, maybe even an actual airport up there, a few other things as well. I feel like Paleto Bay really, really does get neglected. And I think that in hindsight, Rockstar should have beefed it up just a little bit more than it currently is. Now, this is the passive mode rant. I was ranting about people that go into passive mode after they troll you, and then you fight back, and then like pussies, which is what I was insinuating at the top of the thumb, they go into passive mode whenever you fight back and you start kicking their asses. That's what this was about. Next is the PC rant. Now, this was about, obviously, Grand Theft Auto 5 being delayed. First, fall 2014, then, of course, January, March, and eventually April 2015. Of course, eventually Grand Theft Auto 5 did come to PC, and all the Grand Theft Auto 5 PC fans are happy. Now, Pegasus rant. What's not to rant about Pegasus? There's so many things to rant about when it comes to the fine folks at Pegasus. So, yeah, you want to know something about Pegasus? There you go. And, of course, the police rant. We were ranting, obviously, about the police in Grand Theft Auto Online. One of the more recent ones, and a very popular one, the Pacific Standard Kuruma being removed from the ability to be used as an option for getaways. Now, it was not a glitch, but it was kind of a way you could, not have to use the motorcycles. You'd have to watch the video, and you probably have, but Rockstar removed the ability for us to use an armored Kuruma, and to be honest, I think that sucks. Then, of course, the PlayStation Plus rants. Yeah, PlayStation Plus has its issues, just like Xbox Live. Next is the radio rants. Now, I don't remember exactly what I was ranting about in this one, because obviously I'm a radio guy. I was in radio for several years, and there was something in this rant that made me rant about it. I don't remember exactly, but, anyways. Rain Rant. Now, Rain Rant was interesting because it always rains in Grand Theft Auto Online. It seems it rains more than usual, except for recently in, like, California. It's been monsooning like crazy there, but normally when people think of Los Angeles, they don't think of rain. But a lot of times in Grand Theft Auto Online, it's raining in Los Santos and southern San Andreas. And I thought about making a rain rant video. And one of my older subscribers bitched and complained and unsubscribed. And, he will not be missed. This was a long time ago. And he was just one of those bipolar people that, 1 second he loves me, 1 second he hates me. And, I just don't care for that shit. But anyways, better him to be gone from the GeauxBurns nation, exiled for 1,000 years. And by the way, I did not run out of ideas because there's been plenty more rant videos since this one. So there. Next is the Rat Rod rant, because what's not to rant about when it comes to the Rat Rod? And, of course, the running back rant adversary mode. There are a few adversary modes that I ranted about whenever they came out. And, of course, the remastered rants, ranting about remastered games. There seems to be an abundance of them lately, and a lot of them feel more like demasters as opposed to remasters, with a few exceptions, obviously. And, of course, the Rhino Hunt rant, another adversary mode I thought sucked and was worth ranting about. And here is the Rumor Mill rant, basically similar to the Leaker rant, just ranting about all these rumor mills, unconfirmed BS that don't turn out to be true, the fact that other content creators, just take something and they run with it, they make videos about it, they hype it, they promote it, when it turns out to be BS. And this was also around the time I had 700 subs. I've come a long way since this rant video, because now I got over 4,000, which does not suck. Next is the original rant video. And you can tell because of how awesome this thumb is. My Rooftop Rumble rant. This was in the early days of the channel, back March, maybe April 2014, somewhere in that ballpark. And yes, this is what my thumbs used to look like. And I just had this idea for making my thumbs look like this, similar to the the cover of Grand Theft Auto games. And obviously it's from photos from the 360. But I was ranting about Rooftop Rumble because at the time I was ranking up my character, Janine, on the Xbox 360. And I wanted to play something other than Rooftop Rumble. I wanted to play Trash Talk or something else. I just wanted to play missions. And it seemed like the only thing that would come up in quick jobs was Rooftop Rumble. And that's why I ranted about Rooftop Rumble in my original rant video. So this is where it began, right here. And as you can tell, my thumbs have gotten a lot better. And Janine looks a lot better than she did back on the 360. And of course, the verified rant. And this was about Rockstar kind of neglecting the verified jobs. For a while, they would post verified jobs, but then they kind of went dark on it. And for a long period of time, we weren't getting new verified jobs. And that's what I was ranting about here. San Andreas rant. I believe I was ranting about the fact that we only technically have half of San Andreas, aka Southern San Andreas, and it would be awesome if we also had, San Fierro as well as Las Venturas, which were in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And of course, I had several shark card rants. You love them, you hate them. I feel both ways about the shark cards. Sometimes a necessary evil. Sometimes I feel like Rockstar goes out of their way to make it to where we are overly dependent on shark cards. But this was about shark card bonuses and the good and the bad regarding that issue. Then, of course, shark card rebate rant. And this was probably a dumb rant that I came up with, but I had nothing else to do. And, you know, with the shark card bonuses, if you partake in the bonuses, within a certain amount of days, you're supposed to get the bonus money. Like, for example, if you bought a Megalodon shark card, you get $8 million in Grand Theft Auto currency. But a few days later, you're supposed to get an additional $4 million. And the day that the rebate was supposed to happen came and went. And I think a few days passed by, and people were complaining about it. And I believe that's why I made this particular rant video. And eventually, Rockstar did, you know, rebate everybody that partook in the shark card bonuses. Next, of course, the server rants, because, you know, the servers are awesome in Grand Theft Auto Online, specifically on the Xbox One. Next, of course, is the Stallion rant, because, yes, most of you know from the Stallion saga on the channel, there have been a lot of issues regarding the Stallion. Now, when Rockstar introduced the Stallion to Grand Theft Auto Online, we had 3 different roof options, which you randomly got by purchasing it over and over again. The hard top, which is featured here, a soft top, and a no top. And a lot of people just really, really wanted the ability to pick the particular top. And for a while, you couldn't take the Stallion into Benny's and get the top you wanted. In fact, Rockstar made it to where eventually they were all soft tops. But they listened to the community. We petitioned it. And Rockstar did eventually fix the Stallion to where you could go into LCS. Did I say Benny's? I meant LCS. Liberty City Customs and or Los Santos Customs, my bad. I've been playing too much Grand Theft Auto 4 lately, and this video's gone on for like 40-something odd minutes. The longest rant ever. And they now have the ability for us to customize the Stallion when it comes to the roof. I wish there was more customization on the Stallion, but that's not the case. And the Stallion roof rant was, I guess, a continuation of the rant as well. You know, just another video bitching once again about the lack of roof options for the Stallion ramp, but that is history, because we now can, you know, have whichever roof we want on the Stallion. Next is the lack of story DLC in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, what's interesting is sometimes people give me suggestions for rant videos I've already done, which is why I always ask people and encourage you to go look through through my rant playlist in order to make sure that I haven't done that rant video already. And yes, I am salty about the fact that we never got story DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5, because I enjoy playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and I felt like it deserved at least one or at least a couple DLCs. But to this day, we have yet to get a story DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5, and at this point in time, we probably never will. And of course, the support rant. Now, this was interesting because a lot of people bash Rockstar support, but I was actually coming to Rockstar support's defense in this video. And if you notice, a lot of times whenever I've done a support video in the past, I use this specific image. Now, this is from National Lampoon's Vacation, when Clark Griswold is punching Marty Moose at Wally World. And he's pissed because, you know, they come all the way from Chicago, they endure all this crap in the family truckster, and they finally get to Wally World, and the park's closed. And, you know, Marty Moose says, "Sorry, folks, the park's closed," you know, and, you know, Clark's finally lost it at this point in the movie. So I always like using it as a background for my support thumbs. Well, when I used to do those. Next is the survival rant, because I love playing survivals, and I wish we had more survivals and the ability to create our own survivals. And we still don't have that ability, which sucks. And of course, the Switch rants. I was ranting about the Nintendo Switch. Yes, I'm planning on getting the Nintendo Switch, specifically because of the new Zelda game, because I love Zelda. But there were some things that I have issue with. And it's funny because whenever you rant about Nintendo, you always have the Nintendo fanboys, you know, leave smart-ass comments on my videos for whatever rhyme or reason. I mean, I'm a Nintendo fan too, but I guess they just don't understand the premise of my rant series. But c'est la vie. Next is the trunk rant, because I would like to see a truck category in Grand Theft Auto Online, because the trucks are spread throughout various categories like SUV, vans, muscles, etc. And being an American, I happen to like trucks. I happen to have one. And of course, some of the last rants we're going to go over, because we finally made it to the V's. The most recent rant video was the Valentine's 2017 rant, which was posted last week. Then, of course, a couple years ago, the Valentine's rant from 2015. A violence rant, which we talked about violence. And, of course, the VIP rant. I don't remember specifically what the VIP rant was about. Obviously about VIP mode in Grand Theft Auto Online. And, of course, the Wanderer rant. I don't know why I made a rant video about this. I guess you'll have to go back and watch it yourself. And then finally, I think, is this finally? No, I don't think so. We're not even done yet, because we haven't got to the whys. We'll be done in 5 years, I promise, for all of you still watching. The Watchdogs rant, because what's not to rant about when it comes to the original Watchdogs game. Weapons rant. I was ranting about weapons in Grand Theft Auto Online. Obviously, I'm on bingo fuel right now. I mean, this has gone way longer than I intended, honestly. Damn! And, of course, the weapon wheel rant, and that was basically about the fact that we, at the time, could not replace or get rid of certain weapons. Now we have the ability to put weapons in certain lockers at the office and at the MC. So it's good that we finally have that ability to clean up the weapon wheels, so to speak. And of course, various YouTube rants that I have done over the past existence of my rant series. So there you go. That's not all 100 episodes of my rant series. It's like 90 something thumbs, and wow, that took 1,000 years for us to do. But anyways, for all of you remaining in the video, thank you so much for watching my rant series. And as always, if you have a rant suggestion, feel free and send it my way via the comment section, Twitter, Facebook, or email, GeauxBurns@gmail.com. And I promise, if we get to 200 rants, we're not doing this again.